Are you satisfied so far with the performance of Akufo-Addo's government?
I think it is important for us to recognize that a mandate of a president is 4 years. Okay, and I've said it before and I want to repeat this. It's not for me as an individual to come and sit and pass judgment on my own government. What is important that we work to the satisfaction of the mandate that has been reposed in us. We don't take things for granted. Again, there is no more graphic evidence of the feelings of Ghanaians. It is the Ghanaians who pass judgment on how we are running the country into 2020. You know the difference between 2016 and 2020. In 2020, a 63-seat majority was collapsed to 0. You know that?
Yes, correct.
Our majority vote was halved. So there's quite clear evidence for the president to imbibe that the Ghanaian populace were not too happy with the first term. So it's for him to process it and decide on what changes to make so that we can give ourselves an opportunity to win in 2024. That's still 2.5 years. And especially now, we've had COVID, we've had the international situation, the world has become a difficult place. And we, as Ghana, cannot extricate ourselves. So it's going to be very tough. It's how well, as political leaders, we conduct ourselves. When we were saying that the citizens should tighten their belts, we should tighten ours harder. So we have to cut the waste. He has to cut waste. There is no doubt in my mind at all that there's a lot of wastage in Ghana. And I think they should take a critical look at revenue generation, the Tema Harbour, the Tema ports. I can tell you without any fear or favor, I think we are getting only 20% of what the nation needs.
What we could get from Tema port.
From Tema. It's a lot of slippages. We know that. We have been in government for close to 6 years. And I remember myself and Kojo Banri organizing a sting operation just to check a few things one Friday evening.
At the port?
Yes, and what we saw.
Kojo Banri as finance minister?
Yes, was appalling. All we did was to get some national security guys to stop some senior officers outside the port. Late Friday evening. And what we discovered in their boot is not something I want to be able to come and discuss here.
But you didn't arrest them?
They were.
Oh, okay.
They were.
You didn't publish it?
Well, you know, Kojo Ban is he's a quiet type. So he took action without making too much noise. But it's important that we look at certain elements of our economy. How is it that the cocoa industry that has taken care of this country for over 100 years has not been able to save enough to take care of itself, and that every year, year in, year out, we have to go and syndicate loans because some people benefit from syndication of these loans. This has to stop. The so-called trading room in London has to be wiped out. Cocoa is bought in cedis. We pay our local farmers in cedis. Why do we have to go and contract a loan in dollars, come and change it to cedis, and then later change it back into dollars? What kind of arrangement is that?
And some people arrange the loan and get paid for it.
A lot of arrangement fees, insurance, all sorts of things. These are things we should look at very critically. Our extractive industry. The last time I checked, you will be surprised. The 5 top destinations for our gold exports. The figures they are recording is about 3 times what we are recording in Ghana as living here.
Figures that are being recorded as arriving over there.
As leaving
as the destination.
Yes.
Okay.
The gap between the two is about 3 times.
So somebody is
so there's something happening.
There's pilfering going on.
You know, and after so many years, 65 years, I don't think we should be shipping raw beans because nobody uses
cocoa beans.
Yes, we should process 100%, or at least we should start targeting. Let's say we are in 40, 50, 60, set a time for 100%, so that all those processing factories will be in Ghana and can be owned by Ghanaians. These are machines that are working. I don't see why any big factory has to belong to a foreigner. We can enable our people to own these factories. Why don't we have any refineries? All
is that
gold.
One district, one factory that Akufo-Addo has been talking about?
Look, Paul, what I mean is that we have to look at the big picture. We have to change the narrative. We've got to create a new era of thinking. That politics is about service, is about
creating solutions.
Creating solutions. It's about helping the country, and you should feel pride in our country as Ghanaians. Like the footballers, when they score the goals, they start kissing the badge. We have to be nationalistic. That is missing. You listen to the radio, you listen to TV, Ghanaians are being interviewed, and they are not passionate about their country because they don't see it from the political leaders.
Has media got a role to play?
A major role. A major role. Very major role to play, the media, because I think the